road is a circle of ash. I'm chasing the vision, I ain't chasing the cash. Billy, you're going nowhere. They scream from the shade, but I'm shopping in the air.
It's so you know what's interesting about this? This is an AI song. I was surprised too, but it's interesting too. So you know, everyone's all scared and afraid of AI, right? It's never the knowledge, it's never the tool, it's never the person. It's the choices, decisions. It's what's done with it, right? So there's many ways it can be used. You know, but it's how we choose to use it. It's what we choose to do with it. You know, turning it into like a spying device to spy on all of us, like fuck that bullshit. You know, but using it to help us to advance and to do the mundane stuff so that we can spend our time and our energy and our creativeness to do other things, I'm all for that, right? But it was kind of like an eye-opening point to me where I found myself sitting here jamming out to the song, and then I'm like, who is this? I had the same question. I look it up, and then I noticed like that little thing on the end, it said AI music. Like, the fuck? But it's like, it clearly was taking the songs that I'm playing and I'm listening to, the shit that I'm vibing out to, the ones that I'm playing all the way out, and it's like, all right, let me custom make something for him. And that's kind of what I interpreted that as. And I don't know, it's interesting. You know, it's all about what we choose to do with it. You know, as far as creativity goes, you know, AI will never compare to certain things. You know, it's funny watching some of these videos of this dude that he'll be like wearing like the tiniest little hat on his head and asking the AI for like fashion advice and stuff like that. It's actually pretty humorous to watch those. There's clearly some things where you shouldn't have to be told what to and what not to go to the AI for. You know what I mean? But who's to say? You know what I mean? Who's to tell you what to do? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. And it's not to fear. You know, we shouldn't be fearing anything. You know, it's not to fear. You know, a lot of people, you know, well, how does church keep you trapped a lot? Religion keeps you trapped because they have you fearing everything that you should be looking into. You know what I mean? It's the church is not going to tell you that Yeshua studied the Egyptian Book of the Dead. You know, they're not going to tell you that shit. You know, because they don't teach that there. It goes against what they're, well, it's the overall intention of the people want the lessons that aren't being taught there. That's the sad reality of it. It's their souls crave for that real nourishment, that real truth, that real knowledge that's just not found there. It's really unfortunate. And, you know, a lot of people are just they're not going to make the shift to the new earth because they're so stuck in their ways and, you know, and they're not open-minded enough. They're too close-minded. Too close-minded. You know, it's crazy. The thing about that is, like, staying open-minded, it's... Even when you think that you're, you know, the most open-minded, it's the more that you open and expand your consciousness, it's like the more different levels of expansion that you're even possible. And it's just like, fuck. Where does it end? It doesn't really, though. It doesn't. Until we choose to. You know, we choose to stop we choose to stop expanding, you know, which is fine. We get to points like that where we just need a break. You know, or we get stumped or whatever the reason may be, you know, but there's no limit. There's no limit. You know, Yeshua said, you know, those will come that'll do greater than I. I believe that shit. You know what I mean? But you won't even hear those words spoken in church. But those are the words of Yeshua. Why would you not want to empower, you know, people with those words? Why would you not want to empower them that? Oh, you don't want to empower the slaves. Gotcha. That's right. What's up, Terrence?